Let's see what color it's. Oh, I don't know if this video is going to work. No, bring the red down some. There we go. Yeah, the red just overpowers everything else. Now bring the overall level down on your master. Okay, there we go. That's pretty close. Okay, so we're going to look at how different colors of light affect pigment. Light is additive color mixing. You have red, green, and blue that add together to make the different colors that we perceive. Our eyes only perceive red, green, and blue light. So if something's lit in only red, green, the red's still a little much. Take the red down a little bit more. Take the red down to my skin tone, looks natural. That's pretty, bring it back up a little. Now bring everything up a little on the master. Okay, that's pretty close. More or less. You mix the three together evenly and you get white light. The paper is more or less white. These may not be perfectly pure red, green, and blue, and these are certainly not pure red, green, and blue pigments up here. When you change the color of light that's shining on something, additive color mixing. Pigment is subtractive color mixing. When you mix two different colors of pigment together, it changes which light they absorb, and so they're subtracting color out of the spectrum. When you put light together, you're adding color into the spectrum. If you light something in RGB, our eyes can perceive it as being more brilliant. The colors pop more because those are the three colors of light that our eyes understand. So it doesn't have to go, oh, that looks like it's in between red and green. It can go, that's that much red and it's that much green and that makes yellow. So this is more or less white light. So I've described these colors as red, yellow, olive green, and blue, purple, blue-gray, that one's a little dark, a little gray. White, way down here. If you're ever wondering where we are with what colors of light is shining, look at this white down here, and that'll tell you what color light's shining. And then black, there's black in a few places around it. This, we used it to sample some colors, and as it turns out, it makes a pretty good board to do this with until we do something else with it. Okay, let's start. Predict. What color will the red be if we only shine green light on it? Say something. If we only shine green light on red, is there any red for this to reflect? If you shine green light on it, will there be red light for this to reflect? No. So that means it's going to absorb everything else, right? And it may not do it perfectly because this isn't perfectly, monochromatic red. No, turn off the green and turn off the blue and the red. Kind of remember your level on that red. So there's green. And you remember the black that was up here? It's gotten much harder to see, hasn't it? And it all kind of streaks together. So the red has more or less become black because there's not any red light for it to reflect. What happened to the yellow? It got bright. Jot down the results as we look at them. We'll go straight down. The red turned black. The yellow, it got brighter, right? It got a lot brighter because it's reflecting all the green elements of it. And that green light is a little bit yellow. The olive green looks more green. It looks less of that grayish to it. This was blue, and it's now turned green. This was purple, and now it's dark green or gray. And this was blue-gray, and it kind of looks the same as, looks similar to the purple.
It's a little lighter than purple.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little lighter. And the white has that yellowish green to it. That's not a real pure green, but it's the closest thing we have. That's why this looks yellow instead of green. So get your results there. I'm going to take my mask off because I'm trying to record this for folks at home, and I'm not sure how well they're hearing me. I'm not sure how well it's recording, but I'm way away from all of you. And don't I look just lovely in it? I look like it looks like I was chewing tobacco for the first time ever and rode a ride at the fair and swallowed the tobacco juice and got sick from spinning around. So So pretty much things that look greener, things that were green look greener, and the red looks black, or at least very dark brown. After we go through a few of these, I'll tell you one of the early uses of this phenomenon. Can we go on to the next color of light? Can we go to the, okay. Noah, swap out green for red. Give me red, take out the green. Yeah, you can bring it way on up. You can bring it up. Welcome to down below. All right. What happened to the red? I didn't get you to make predictions though. What happened to the red? It's still red. What happened to the yellow? Yeah, it's white looking or orange looking. The yellow, it looks almost white compared to the red, but it must have had some red in it. There's some red in the pigment that's making it pop some. The olive green, which was here. Yeah, it's dark gray, almost black. I mean, it is darker than this strip of black right here. So it's almost, that's the real black. It's almost. It looks like the black wash. What?
The only reason why I want to call it black is they have two colors.
Yeah, if this wasn't here. But look, the olive green and the blue is a little darker than olive green was. And then this was purple. And this was blue-gray. So it turned, that's even more dramatic than just putting green on it. Yeah. That's a purer red. That green is a yellow green or light green or something like that. And the black still looks really black because that's what it does. It absorbs light. Yes. The blue is, I should have written the color on them in Sharpie, but then that ruins the flat if I do that. The blue is this one. Yeah, it's yellow, olive green, blue, purple, blue gray. And we're not going to get super picky over it in a quiz. I'm not, we're not going to ask you for shades of stuff. When you look at all of them, you can kind of tell this one's a little purple, and this one's a little blue, and that one's a little green. But just a little. And if I remember correctly, this color was just this paint with some black added to it. It was just this blue paint with some black added to it, so it makes sense, it looks black. So make sure you're keeping it in the right columns. If you've written it in the wrong column, just change the color at the top. We're in the green, we're in the red column right now. We skipped red initially. We ready to go on to blue? No, I still see pencils moving. So.
Oh, she's doing his drawing line.
Oh, she's just drawing lines. Okay. No, that is with blue. Take out the red. Yeah. So, it makes the red look kind of dark magenta, kind of, sort of. Yeah, it has some purple in it. Or the red has some blue in it. Because we're about to see what red and blue light make. So, blue light and some red, less than pure red pigment, start heading toward magenta. The yellow, yeah, it didn't have any blue in it. So, and that blue probably isn't a real pure blue. What happened to our olive green?
It's kind of blue.
Yeah, it looks kind of aqua. Our blue got blue! And our purple, yeah, it's still purple, but it's a bluer purple. And then our blue gray, it just looks like lighter blue gray. Yeah, I mean, it's just. And the white looks really white against that red. But if you look at the paper against me, you can see it's blue. And my shirt looks red, even though it's black. Are you starting to see how a set designer and lighting designer might have to compare notes early on in a production? Yeah.
This is why people should just have communication together.
Yes. Yeah. Especially in a theater like ours where the lighting colors are changed with gels. And you have there's not an infinite number of gels. There are a lot of them. They're on an infinite color of gels. There's an infinite colors of paint you can mix. But in a theater that's more up to date, or that had more budget available because they're really expensive, LED lights, you have almost an infinite color palette. So if the light wasn't working just quite right on the colors that were on that the set was painted, you can tweak them a little bit without changing the overall effect too terribly. Yeah, true. Is it? Yeah. My black t-shirts aren't going anywhere anytime soon. mixing up the pants a little bit, but the black t-shirt isn't
Yeah,
going
the
in.
purple pants, yeah, that it was a surprise.
Yeah, do you like that?
Yeah, they look good.
Do you like my bruised colored pants? That bruised pair? They were like maroon, and they were maroon with bluish.
You sure that wasn't the day we weren't here?
Huh?
You sure that wasn't the day we weren't here?
Oh, it might have been the day you weren't here. Yeah. They look like a bruise.
I remember that. I see
Yeah.
the colors are rare.
Yeah, they look like a bruise. Okay, that's the three primary colors of light shining on some primary colors and some secondary colors up here. So that was red, green, and blue. Now give us some green and red, which will make yellow. If we get the mixture right, I'd bring the green all the way up, then bring the red up to match it. Here, key off of that. There you go, that's yellow. So the red still looks red. Of course it does, there's red light shining on it. The yellow looks yellow because there's yellow light shining on it. The blues look green. The purple looks brown, gray, yeah. There's no blue here to make it purple. There's no blue light to make it purple. There's no blue light to make this blue. So this paint had some green pigment in it. It just looks greener, yeah, because it was an olive, so it must have been some blue in it that was making it olive. If you put just a little bit of black in pure white paint, it will make a bluish gray. You have to put a little yellow or green pigment into gray to keep it from looking blue. Yeah, and we have, that's yellow, it looks white against the red, but it's yellow. Then we'll roll this other way and look at shadows in there. Just because that's, see the colors of my shadows?
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
And you can't see the green, you can't see the red one as much. There we go.
Yeah. That's really cool.
You agree with me? Like psychedelic. It would actually make three colors of shadow if we had the other on. That's so strange to see a red shadow on paper. From where I'm standing,
It's so
weird.
cool to see both.
Yeah. We good to go on to the next one? I didn't hear a bunch of no's, so I guess that's okay. Would you kill the red and give us some blue now? Until this is cyan. A little more blue? No, did I say kill the, yeah, it's green and blue. Can you give me some more blue? Take out some green? It doesn't quite want to do it. Green back up with it. Well, we're trying to make cyan, which is light blue, and adding that blue light back made this look really blue. That's really cyan. It brought the purple back to being really purpler than it was. It made the olive green washed out, dull, gray green sort of. The yellow's still yellow. This blue-gray looks blue now.
Yeah.
The red still looks red.
Yeah, it looks red, but it's also got this purple.
Yeah, it looks purpler. So what? Yeah, the top is,
The top of
I think that might have to do with how the lights are aimed,
it.
but it's,
But in the middle, it's red.
yeah, oh, they're in a shadow. Look, one of the bars is catching a shadow right there.
So it kind of looks like this is washed out red.
The whole thing overall?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of rusty, dull, washed out red look.
Like brick house.
Folks at home watching on video, I'm not sure how much of this color change you can see, but hopefully you'll pick up some of it. We pretty much know what will happen to primary color if you don't shine its primary color of light on it. It's going to look, if everything was pure, it would look black. But it's the secondary colors where things get interesting, because they can have more than one color of pigment in them. Several colors of pigment in them. Can we go on to the last one? Okay, I wasn't met with a cascade of no's, so I guess so. Let's see, take out the green and bring up the red. Give us all the blue you can, and then just bring up the red. Okay, then bring up the red until we have until the paper's magenta. There, oh, that's good. That's a good magenta, right there. No, it looked like it's been in the microwave. Okay, the magenta, obviously the red's going to look red and the blues are going to look blue. This green is really dull because there's no green light on it. The yellow is kind of dull because it was relying a lot on the green. And green and red make yellow, so it's looking kind of orangish now. The blue looks really blue. The purple looks really purple. Because it's made out of purples, primarily blue and red. And even the blue-gray looks more blue. So the magenta, which is, let me stand kind of that dark pink sort of. The magenta is a friend of most of those colors. Look what it does to the red. Look how vivid that red is. Because there's not any green in there to mess with the red.